Now, Nanjala Nyabola is a writer and political analyst. She joins me now live with more. Thanks so much for joining us, Nanjala. We were just saying that both Odinga and Kenyatta have called for calm, but we're still hearing this kind of provocative language, particularly from the opposition. Are you concerned this will descend into chaos, and who is the onus on to actually stop it?
I think it's too early to make such predictions. I think I was driving around Nairobi earlier this morning, and I think the general sense is that everybody's ready to wait and see how this goes down. I think that the onus remains 100% with the people, and the people who very patiently and very calmly stood out in line yesterday to vote and really expressed that they were interested in participating in the democratic process. I think the onus is on us to make the decision to either participate or not participate. I don't think any politician has the capacity to, or should have the capacity to, bring an entire country to a standstill. So I think really it's too early to tell, and I think that we just have to keep following the news and waiting to see what happens from here on out.
I want to ask you, do you have your own suspicions about the legitimacy of this vote? Do you think it could have been hacked?
I don't know. And I think that really what we need to do right now is we're looking to the IEBC to see what they have to say. I think it would be very easy for the IEBC to put all this speculation to rest right now. They are in possession of all of the documentation, and they're in possession of all the information. There are two sets of documentation that are required to verify the results of an election. And according to a court decision that came down last week, the results that are announced at a polling station are the final results. The IEBC has all that information and should have posted the specific form, we call it Form 34A, at every polling station around the country. So it would be very easy for the IEBC to verify the information that was delivered at the polling station and agreed upon by all of the agents of the different political parties at the polling station and say, we've looked at all of these results, we're comparing them with the results that are up on the portal, and we're saying this is the reality of what happened. So if there's any pressure for anybody at this particular point, it's on the IEBC to really come out strongly and give proof that puts everybody at ease and says, actually, the process was as free and fair as could be expected.
Nanjala, let me ask you a broader question. How much do you think this election could actually change for ordinary Kenyans? Would either man actually institute a different kind of executive here, or are we looking at more of the same going forward?
I think an election is more significant than the people who are running. And I think what you're seeing, the tension that you're seeing is, I would put it between two broad camps. I think that there are people who want the election just to go through the motions of having an election and say, we had a peaceful election, we're a democracy, that's great. And I think, on the other hand, there are a lot of people for whom, whether it's Raila, whether Odinga, it's actually the idea of an election being a focal point for some kind of broader social political change. You saw that in Ghana, you saw that in Nigeria. It's not necessarily that the election of Muhammadu Buhari in Nigeria or in Ghana necessarily brought this broad-ranging social change in either one of those countries. Really what it did is that it signaled that the country was ready to use elections as a point to communicate between the people, the public, and the political system. The problem that we have in Kenya is that there's not a lot of belief in that if we keep voting, things will change. And that's the tension that I see.
Okay. Nanjala Nyabola, thank you so much for joining us there from Nairobi.